where heads of state, sports, entertainment, and political celebrities meet. You're listening to Armstrong Williams.
You and your son, Tokumba Kuforiji, decided to come to the United States recently for the inauguration of President Barack Obama. And you had the occasion to meet with many of American icons. I mean, the ambassador of the EU, Boyden Gray, world-renowned neurosurgeon, Dr. Benjamin Carson, David Smith, who is one of our icons in broadcasting, Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, and you had attended and were seated with your son at the presidential inaugural. And you had a chance to feed and bring remarks to Senator Tim Scott, who was appointed by Governor Nikki Haley. He's the first American black senator from South Carolina since Reconstruction. And just to have you honored with some of the icons of our nation, I wanted you to share with our audience, first, the thoughts you had in your journey coming to this inauguration, a woman of your accomplishments and what you've been exposed to. I find it the only thing that will ever impress you is when you close your eyes to death and you lift them and God says, Dr. Bully, well done, thy good and faithful servant. Come and take your rightful seat in my kingdom. I think those are probably the only words that will impress you in this life, that you have served your Creator in such a way that he will give you eternal life.
Yes. Before I left Nigeria to come here, I thought to myself that I'm going to be part of history that is being made for the first time in the United States and indeed in the world. I look at President Barack Obama as a symbol of the achievement of the Afro-Americans in U.S. and in the diaspora. I look at him as the man appointed and blessed and ordained by God. I listened to him at the inauguration, the second inauguration as the 44th President of the United States. And tears were almost coming out of my eyes, but I blinked them off because for me, it wasn't an occasion for tears, but an occasion for joy to see him stand there. People who thought that this could not happen actually is happening in their lifetime. And I believe that after Obama's second term, America can never be the same again. It is symbolic that it was inaugurated on the day that Americans choose to honor Martin Luther King. And Martin Luther King saw the vision. He never lived enough to realize his dreams, but his dreams are being played out by President Obama, by so many other icons whom I have met during this trip. And I'm really glad that I'm part of history. I'm really glad that I've had the opportunity to be here to see what is happening firsthand. I like to commend the First Lady, Mrs. Michelle Obama. I think unobtrusively she walks by the side of her husband like I believe every First Lady should do. I think we have a lot in Africa to learn from this great lady. Our First Ladies in Africa should take a cue from Michelle Obama, the way she conducts herself, her cerebral power, the way she goes about giving value and support for her husband is unbelievable. And I think she's a charming woman, well-dressed, well-articulated, and bless her too.
What does this symbolize for your home country of Nigeria, the election of President Obama? The fact that he was reelected, where people realize that America is still that shining city on the hill, we're really making progress. What does it do for the hopes and aspirations for the diaspora?
With our nascent democracies in Africa, I do believe again that we have a lot to learn from what is happening to President Obama and what is happening in America. Because often than not, we do have elections which are full of rancor, bickering, acrimony, violence, and all kinds of things which are not desirable. When President Obama was elected for the second term, in fact, I switched off my television the night before because I was in London at the time. And when I woke up in the early hours of the morning, there was President Obama giving his acceptance speech. I jumped from my bed to listen because nobody has challenged the results. That is not the same in Africa. And I'm calling on all our governments in Africa, particularly in my country, in Nigeria, to learn, from what has happened here. When you are defeated, you are defeated. Take it, because God appoints who he wants to be in a position. If it's not your time, if the spotlight is not shining on you, then it's not your turn to be there, and you should take it. Because you are not a demigod, you are there for the people, to serve the people, for the common good of the people, and therefore you should see yourself as a servant of the people, not for self-aggrandization, not for amassment of wealth.
No, please continue. No, this is not the kind of show where you stop. Listen, I'm inspired. Talk about how you can't become a public official based on greed and lining your pockets with wealth. It has to be for the good of the people. And when you do the good of the people and the bit of the people, God will bless you.
If you line your pockets for yourself, that's not for the good of the people. In fact, people get constituency allowances. Has anybody ever used a tooth comb to find out whether what people say they are doing with the money, with the tons of money that are being channeled their ways, are being used for the good of the people? I believe that we cannot controvert the fact that it is necessary for every 7 politician, male or female, to ensure that the good of the people is the reason why they are appointed. It's not to stand on your high horse and ram things down the people's throats and tell them this and tell them that. People have got to be seen that you are making a difference in their lives. And particularly female politicians, I believe that they have more responsibility than even the men. The female politicians should be out there, not think all the time of how they're going to look beautiful, what they're going to be wearing, and whatever. They should be positive. They should affect the lives of the generality of the youths. We have a lot of youths who are coming out of universities, no jobs for them. Jobs are being created, we're told, but these people cannot access the jobs that they should be doing. And the government strives and tells the people that it's being done. But then it's not too obvious that this is happening. You have children who have been educated abroad, who come back to come and savour the life in Nigeria, for instance. I'm sorry, it's a country that I know best, so I'm using it as an example. But they come, most of them don't find the jobs. They go back, and you will have a reverse brain drain into other people's country, helping other people to progress, helping other people to actualize their dreams. We are seeking ways of actualizing our own dreams in Nigeria. And I believe that the time has come, the time really has come, that all the desires of the peoples of Nigeria, the people that make up Nigeria, should be before the government, the government to see what is happening, the government to listen to the people, the government to improve infrastructure. It is difficult for people in the nascent economies, democracies in Africa, to actualize their dreams as easily as you could do in the US, because the infrastructure, facilities are not there. No good roads, no electricity all the time. You have, if you are in business, you have to generate your own power. You have to make sure that your water is
purified.
Purified. No, first of all, you've got to sink your own boreholes to access the water and then purify it. All this add on to the price of whatever you've had, to manufacture. And therefore, we cannot compete, even with the cheapest imports that come, from other parts of the world. It's a story. I wouldn't say it's dismal, but it's disheartening. And I believe that anybody who is listening to this program and has anything to do with Africa will start thinking and realize that they are servants of the people. They are not demigods. The God has not given them the power to ram anything down the throats of anybody. It's to help the people and ensure that people are actually actualizing their desires and realizing their hopes.
I must tell you, I've conducted many interviews in my life. I feel like I want to get up and do something. I want to lead something.
Please do it.
That's what I'm telling you. I feel like I want to pick up. I want to lead a movement. I mean, this is not just inspirational. It's so substantive, but it's the truth. And where the truth is lurking, you find progress. Because you can't hide the truth. You can't control it. We'll be back. Dr. Bola Kuforiji is our guest for the full hour. Don't go away. Inspired indeed. I'm Armstrong Williams.